So we're just going to say a few words and then we're going to sing happy birthday for Barney, who would be 100 if he was still with us. Cut the cake. And I think Christy's got something lined up after that, maybe just for the children. So just because we could talk all day as we remember Bernard Godwin, we're just going to say a few words just to remember the man who was. And of course I found a photo that Mum had of Nanny, of course, because they came together as a package. We remember
Nana and Pa, you can't say one without the other.
That's right. So if we remember Barney, we'll remember his wife, Kel, or Nanny. So Barney, Bernard Godwin, how old was he? I think he was 91 when he left us.
93, almost 3.
He didn't quite make 100, but I think in cricketing terms he had a good knock. And when we remember him, I think we're just sort of remembering some of the character strengths that he carried. And one of the first ones that came to mind was he was a man of ritual. And Bren just reminded me of the breakfast time ritual where he would put the same nuts and the same fruits and different types of foods that he had, tomato, molasses, and it was always in the same place, it was at the same time, it was the same food. And I think if you ever said to him, Barney, do you reckon you might like to mix it up and have eggs Benedict this morning? He probably wouldn't appreciate that.
Sometimes you got a bit of poo from Mum's bird.
That's right, the old bird, which I gave them. So he was a man of ritual, and of those grandchildren who are now adults in the room, remember the billiards table, which Stephen has indicated to me is still in pristine condition. And the reason that it is because he always looked after it. And if we were allowed to play,
we weren't allowed to touch it.
We weren't allowed to touch it.
You couldn't have your fingers on the edge or you'd get told off.
And you weren't allowed to touch it, and you weren't allowed to play until you were 15 years of age. Except, no, that's my point. That's the problem. That's the problem.
It is still in pristine condition.
Okay, so the reason it's still in pristine condition, because there was a ritual around making sure that it was in top order at the conclusion of the game. It had to be packed away exactly and left the way it was found. And I think in hindsight, when I look back, I appreciate that now. At the time, it may have seemed a little bit harsh, especially that we couldn't play until we were 15. But
I thought it was 12.
Well, we could argue the age, but I was certainly old enough to be wishing that I was able to do that for many years before I could.
Well said.
Yeah, well.
The next character strength we identified, just from the little chat in the room, was he was a man of loyalty. And I think Timothy is going to say a few words about Bernard Godwin in terms of his loyalty.
Loyalty and honour. He volunteered to serve in the armed forces for his country. He went to England and served for the Air Force. His loyal to his family is always loyal to Kel, as Luke says. You can't really, or as Steve says, you can't have Nanny without Pa. You can't have Barney without Kel.
She was a commanding officer.
Absolutely.
I'll never forget the time Nanny described their first date and said that he was a bit cheeky. He danced cheek to cheek with her on their first date, and she thought that was a bit forward. And she thought he was a bit. I think he is quite chirpy and he was a bit too jolly, and she found him to be interesting but a bit too jolly and maybe silly.
She used to call him silly.
Yeah, don't be silly,
That's
but we asked, so I think Luke asked Barney, so what did you think of Nanny? And he said, she was a bloody beauty. And she still is. He said those words, she still is. So his loyal to us, the family, he was always interested in the family, not a standoffish grandfather, I don't think you could say. And he served for them.
He did indeed serve his country. The other thing that we pointed out was that he was a man of humour. And even though when I was a kid I thought he was more serious, Maybe that was because he was coming off his farming days and he had to be serious to be a farmer, is that right?
Yes, he went through a very serious stage.
It'd be a little bit serious, but as we grew older, he became less and less, and more humorous, and more funny, and you can sort of see it in that look, if you can see. There's a cheeky, humorous grin going on there. Bren, did you want to say a few words about your father in terms of his humour?
Just first of all, the humour was there from the start. It didn't come after the farm or any time. He was cheeky all his
All the way.
All the Godwins were.
But he did have some worrying times on the farm that sort of overlapped.
Oh, it's always there.
But you older kids grew out.
When Uncle Kev turned up, his cheekiness really come out.
Just one more thing, Brent. The humour that he had was, I remember this incident. I was probably only 2 years old, so this is long before he was ever lost his humour. He had the humour, and Mother asked him to go to the laundry and fish out a nappy. I think it might have been for me. And 10 minutes later he hadn't come back, and she says, "Barney!" And she went looking for him, and here was the clothes basket in the laundry, and he had a stick with a piece of cotton on it and a bent pin, and he was trying to fish out a nappy. That's 1952.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. There was 2 items that I was considering saying, and that was one of them. So the other one that I selected was that one. No, sorry, it was the other one to that. But I just wanted to mention one. Because I used to come home every year at Christmas religiously, and they were at Stafford. We were in the kitchen. It was Christmas Day. Everyone was in the kitchen, and I was sitting around the Christmas bar. There was ham and turkey and roast beef and everything on the Christmas bar, and they were slicing up and eating it. And I'm wondering, well, where's my father? And the dining room was a separate room, as you remember from the Stafford house. It was you have to go out, the dining room was separate. I stuck my head, I saw he's sitting around the dining room table, so I thought, what the hell's going on here? So I went out. I sat right down beside him at the dining room table, and he was there eating a meal, his Christmas meal. And I said to him, what's the matter? Was there no room for you in the inn? You had to go to the stable. And he said, yes, this stable.
That's
This table, this table, this table.
Does anyone remember the time he broke his jaw?
No, did you want to say no? All right. Well, actually, would anyone else like to have a quick reflection before we cut the cake?
I can't believe that at the age of 90, he would crawl underneath the ping pong table. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea, but he would not interrupt the players at each end underneath the Wallace's house. He wouldn't go around the ends, he just went, look, I need to get around, I'm just going to crawl underneath. And I'm like, totally fine. Totally rolled under, oh my God. Need a hand? No, he's fine.
Probably teasing some unsuspecting
He's probably tugging at someone's pants under the table or something.
Good you said that, because I've never seen that.
Incredible.
We all remember and think different things.
I did my cornflakes with wheat germ and banana and honey this morning.
Three currants to the left and 4 currants to the right.
And crackers with cheese and tomato and salt and pepper. Tomato
You have
sugar
to.
and sugar.
Okay, no,
It's funny growing up with Dad in his particular ways. I have a different breakfast every day.
I think it was Ginny that wanted Kellogg's cornflakes, right? Like tea, no sugar.
All right. I think that we could, and let's just keep chatting quietly and tell different stories, because it is a good day to remember Barney and Cal, and look at all the people that they've been responsible for. Not everyone in the room, but the majority of people in the room. And I think we've turned out, most of us, okay, for the best part.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Some might say sort of.
either way, we owe it to them to remember them and honour them today. So
Excellent.
I'll put them just down here gently. Now we're going to cut the cake, so who's going to do that? Hold on. That was at the end of my script. And finally, thank you for the hosts, Greg and Marg, for putting on, actually, no, it is an important point. Yes, in all honesty, Mum and Dad for putting on this spread. And with no kitchen, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
And Christy, well, I don't know if everyone knows it, but I know those who do and appreciate
Well, I
it.
do. Yeah,
Christy
I appreciate it.
has pulled this together in terms of all the organising, and thank you for that, because if it weren't for you, I don't know how organised this would be. It would still be here, but it would be a bit of a shambles. So, thank you.
I was trying to get the governor to attend today to pin a medal of honour on you, but unfortunately I couldn't get him here.
Well, trying to get this many people with different lives in different states together is not easy. So thank you for managing that. That's
And we've
amazing.
already had a visit from Carl.
And Mark and Greg.
Yes, I think you should. Come on. All right, Bren, Steve, we need
We've got one candle that's not lighted.
the children of Barney and Kel to cut the cake.
They'll look very good once they get to 100.
But we need to sing happy birthday first.
Yes, but we've got to get the knife ready. All right,
What are you
Bren,
singing in
it looks like you.
Oh, look, that's five keys. Which one are we going to use?
Pick the middle one.
All right, Samantha, can you please lead us?
Please, yes. The one.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bonnie. Happy birthday to you.
Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! And it can't go without a verse of Freezer. Freezer, jolly good fellow. Freezer, jolly good fellow. Freezer, jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. So say all of us. So say all of us. Freezer, jolly good fellow. Freezer, jolly good fellow. Freezer, jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. Hooray! Hooray! And we call on Barney. We call on Barney to blow the candles out. Barney, can you please blow the candles out?
Upside down.
Oh, well done.
Upside down, they're clean ones.
Christy, did you want to say something to the kids before we
Yeah, I
go?
did. Do I have all of the little kids?
Children!
Yes.
Yes. So I thought maybe Joel, would you mind cutting the cake? As the oldest grandchild, you can grab your mum's machete.
Is this Joel? I
Slice the
think
cake.
that'll do.
Oh, yeah.
Kitchen cleaver.
I thought you were about to eat that.
It looks dirty, but it can be deceiving. Oh yeah, that's so good.
Can I get all of the little kids? That's
Chop it up. Chop. Chop.
We need to go in the middle.
Okay.
Hello. Wait. So this one's for you, Leo.
Hang on, I need to get you in it.
Anyone for photos?
Did you need to have a family
Come and see Chrissy. Chrissy's got something for you.